Hola, ¿qué tal? Today we're going to continue with our lessons on opinions. Today's going to be a little bit different. You will be responding to my opinion, agree or disagree with what I have to say. Some of it's going to be very fun, so let's start straight away. Hola, la clase. ¿Cómo estáis? Muy bien, gracias. Vamos a empezar. So, today is jueves 4 de febrero. This is what you are doing. You are learning to respond to an opinion. You will use, as always, your masculine and feminine articles, porque es, your adjectives, and our new key conversational phrases. Revisión, a 5-minute revision session. Te toca. It's your turn now. First session, las opiniones. 2 questions. What 2 starters are missing? And where do they sit on the chart? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do this task. Pause your video now. Okay, muy bien. So, as we know, me fascina is missing, and that sits at the top of our chart. It fascinates me. Then it's me encanta, I love, me gusta, I like, no me gusta, I don't like, odio, I really don't like, and the other missing sentence starter, as you know, is detesto, sitting right at the end of the negatives. I detest. Muy bien. Another little group task, please. You can do this alone or with somebody in the house. It's a revision. These are our 8 key conversation phrases that we have been learning this term. What do they mean in English? Pienso que. ¿Qué piensas tú? Estoy de acuerdo. No estoy de acuerdo. No sé. ¿Estás de broma? ¿Qué? And estás loco. Tell me what they mean in English. You don't have to write it down, but you can if you want to. Pause your video now. Excellent. So let's have a look at what they mean. Number 1, pienso que means I think that. Well done. Question, ¿qué piensas tú? What do you think? Keywords today that we will definitely be using, number 3 and 4. Estoy de acuerdo. I agree. No estoy de acuerdo. I disagree. No sé. I don't know. ¿Estás de broma? Are you joking? ¿Qué? What? ¿Estás loco? ¿Estás loca? Are you crazy? Well done. Let's move on to our next task. So, here are some key adjectives that we have learned over quite a period of time. Now, a little test for you. Down this side, you've got the positive adjectives, and on the other side, you can see are our negative adjectives. I'm going to ask you to pause your video, and I'm going to give you a little bit more time now, a good 2 minutes. Can you remind yourself of what these adjectives mean in English? If you can't, that's okay. Some of them are going to be easy, such as fácil, interesante, ineducativo, serio, inútil, difícil, poco interesante, educativo, delicioso, fantástico. Those ones, you're going to use your cognates. Remember what cognates are? Words that exist in English and in Spanish, and you can see the connection. So, 2-minute task. What do these Spanish adjectives mean in English? Pause your video now. Excellent. Let's have a little check together now. So the first one over here, gracioso. Did anybody get that one? Funny. Bonito. Cute. Útil. Useful. Fácil. Easy. Now, if you look at these words, you could use your cognates. Utilize something or a utility means something makes life easier. Facilitate as well makes something easy. Interesante is an obvious one. It's interesting. Fantástico, nothing to talk about there. We know that means fantastic. Divertido. Anyone remember that one? Fun. Delicioso, again, that means delicious, we know that. Educativo is so close to the English that we should have had a good educated guess. Educational. Entretenido, a bit trickier. Entertaining, but again, you can see the connections. Let's move over to our negatives. Malo. This first part, mal, is actually an English prefix. It goes before words such as function, malfunction. That means it doesn't work. So malo is when something is bad. Aburrido, boring. Asqueroso, disgusting. Ineducativo, well, that's the opposite of educativo, so it's uneducational. Pesado, a bit tricky. That means something is irritating, gets on your nerves. Serio, you should see the connection, serious. Feo, a little bit tricky, it means something's ugly. Inútil, well, that's the opposite of útil, so it would be useless. Difícil, again, the connection to English is clear, difficult, and obviously poco interesante is a little uninteresting. Excellent, well done. Now, time to give yourselves a fantastico. So, here's your help page for today. If you have a printer, you can print this off. That would be useful. If you don't have a printer, you've probably already got this from previous lessons, but it would probably be a very good idea to pause your video and write down the things that you feel you may need. Some of the things you're probably thinking, I don't really need that, Mr. Bell, I know that. But you may need some adjectives that you're unsure of. What I would say, if you're writing this down, is definitely write down number 3 and 4 of our group talk phrases. They will be essential to your work today. So, if you've got a printer, print it off. If you haven't, pause your video now and choose the language you think you will need to have a look at. Pause your video now. Excellent, well done. So hopefully you've got enough help now. Let's have a look at the task. We're going to do un ejemplo primero. That means we're going to do an example with Mr. Bell. This is what we're doing today. Let's have a look. I, Mr. Bell, will show you an image. I will give you my opinion on that image. You will respond by either agreeing with my opinion or disagreeing with my opinion. Now, very important that you have number 3, estoy de acuerdo, and no estoy de acuerdo. So once again, if you haven't written number 3 and 4, my advice is pause the video now and get those written down. Right, so you will respond to my opinion by either agreeing or disagreeing, and then you will explain why you have your opinion. You could agree with me, but you still need to explain. If you disagree with me, you definitely need to explain. Let's do an example together. Here's the image. As you can see, it's cake. In Spanish, cake is la tarta. So that's our subject. Here's Mr. Bell. And here is my speech bubble with my opinion. Let's have a little look. It says, detesto la tarta porque es asqueroso. Let's do a bit of translation. Detesto means I detest. La tarta means cake. Porque es means because it is. And asqueroso means disgusting. I detest cake because it is disgusting. Then I say this to you. ¿Y tú? ¿Qué piensas? And you, what do you think? So, you have my opinion on cake. Detesto la tarta porque es asqueroso. Let's imagine you agreed. So there's Mr. Bell, there's my opinion, there's the cake. This is you. And you agreed. You also think cake is disgusting. So you would say, estoy de acuerdo. I agree. But you need to also tell me why. So maybe you wrote an opinion like this. Odio la tarta porque es asqueroso y malo. Very good opinion. I really don't like cake because it is disgusting and bad. Wow, excellent opinion. But let's imagine you actually disagreed with me. And you think, well, actually, Mr. Bell, I love cake. Let's have a look at that one. There's my opinion about cake. There's me. There's the cake. And you disagree. This is you here. You say, no, estoy de acuerdo. I disagree. Good. Explain. Me encanta la tarta porque es delicioso. I love cake because it's delicious. Excellent. You've disagreed and you've explained why. I think we're ready to start now. So, if you have a printer, you could print this sheet off, and here is where you'll write your opinion for the 5 opinions I give you. Remember, you must agree or disagree first. Estoy de acuerdo. I agree. Or no estoy de acuerdo. I disagree. And then explain to me why. Okay, you ready? Let's get going. Here's number 1. Oh, one little thing. Just going back to this. If you don't have a printer, this is a very easy thing to do. You just need to get a piece of paper, write number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, draw a big speech bubble, and then you'll write your response in there. Okay? Let's get going. Remember, you will need your help sheet for this task. You can print the task sheet as we said, or as I just said, you can write numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and draw some speech bubbles. If you need to draw that out, pause the video now and then start it and we'll get going. Okay, we're ready. Here's number 1. Oh, it's number 1. That's my subject. And as we know, that's Mr. Trump. Here is my opinion. Me gusta Mr. Trump porque es inteligente. ¿Y tú qué piensas? Time to pause your video and either agree with Mr. Bell and explain why, or disagree and explain why. Pause your video now. Okay. I'm looking forward to the responses to the first one. Let's have a look at number 2. Here's number 2. Oh, so my subject is exams, which in Spanish is el examen. Here's Mr. Bell. Here's my opinion. Detesto el examen porque es difícil. ¿Y tú qué piensas? That's my opinion. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Explain why. Pause the video now. Excellent. Let's look at number 3. Oh, it's a sport. So this is the Arsenal team, and it's about watching Arsenal. And in Spanish, if you were to watch Arsenal, you would say ver al Arsenal. Here's my opinion about watching Arsenal. Odio ver al Arsenal porque es súper aburrido. ¿Y tú qué piensas? Time to pause your video and give me your opinion. Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? Pause your video now. Okay, I'm really looking forward to the responses to that one as well. So number 1 and 3 have got me very excited. Let's have a look at number 4. Ah, we know who this is. This is obviously Justin Bieber, and it's about listening to Justin Bieber. And in Spanish, we say escuchar a Bieber, listen to Bieber. Here's my opinion on listening to Justin Bieber. Me encanta escuchar a Biba porque es bonito. ¿Y tú? ¿Qué piensas? Okay, it's your turn. Do you agree with my opinion on listening to Biba, or do you disagree? Tell me why. Pause the video now. Excellent. Again, I'm really looking forward to your opinions on this one as well. The last one, number 5. Are we ready? Oh, this is a real creature. This animal exists. It's called the blob. And in Spanish, we just say el blob. So, here's my opinion on the blob. Me encanta el blob porque es interesante y bonito. ¿Y tú qué piensas? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Tell me why. Pause the video now. Excellent. So, really excited. Time to give yourselves a fantastico. As I say, I am very, very excited of seeing your opinions, especially number 1, 3, and 4. Really looking forward to those. Okay, when you've done your work, either it's on paper or printed, it doesn't really matter. Get it up on Seesaw, I'll have a look, and let's see if I can have a little laugh at some of your opinions as well. Time to say adios. Adios. Gracias.